backlash from people who don't understand the fact of an entrepreneurial spirit. And like I said, I left my job. I worked in the mental health for 10 years. Mm-hmm. And I said, when I make more money in my real estate and in my business than I do on my job, I'm leaving my job.
Yeah.
I left my job 20 years ago, over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. And haven't looked back since.
I mean, that's pretty, like, who wouldn't want to do that? Who wouldn't want to be their own boss?
Exactly.
You know what
it's
I'm saying?
tough. It's work though.
Yeah, it is work. You're
Work.
going to have to put in the work for it. But like working a regular 9 to 5 fucking sucks. Like when you can go ahead and be your own boss and create your own hours.
I could never do 9 to 5.
That's ultimately the end game. You know what I'm saying? And then finding that niche and being able to do it. Mm-hmm. And I like that you're doing it in schools early and getting them while they're young, because they like that's he said that's stuff that we don't learn in school. Yeah. Like in school, I wish they did that more in schools where they had certain classes where
they're starting now to do some financial literacy stuff in the schools, because they're starting to realize that these kids are graduating and their parents have graduated and people don't have a bank account. They don't know how to open a bank account. They don't know how to pay bills. They don't know how to set up a budget, all these kind of things. So now they're starting to do some financial literacy stuff. They're having banks coming in and talking to the students and things like that. But of course, you're going to show me how to open a bank account, how to open a checking account, how to pay my bills. But you're not showing me how to get some money to open a bank account, how to pay my bill, how to set up a budget. You're not showing me that, okay, one of the things I tell people all the time is that, and people look at me and say, what do you mean? I haven't had a credit card in over 20 years. Okay. Mm-hmm. I have no credit cards. Okay. I have no mortgages. I have no car notes. My monthly bills are less than $700 a month. Mm-hmm. That's including my rent. Okay. Right. And like I said, I'm only paying rent now because I sold all my properties. But I'm looking at buying a property. Once I buy a property, I won't have a mortgage. Right. And I'm going to have that property. All I'm paying in is just utilities and taxes. But teaching people, when you teach a person to get rid of credit cards, teach a person to get rid of car notes, teach a person to get rid of all those student loans, all those kind of things. So just imagine a car note, $400 or $500. Mm-hmm. Imagine a credit card, $300 or $400 you're paying. Get a basic cell phone service. Instead of $200-$300, now you're paying $50-$60. So now you right there, that's $1,000 a month that it shows you how to save. Imagine you save $1,000 a month. That's $12,000 a year. Mm-hmm. You can take that $12,000 a year, and if you got a car note, if you got a mortgage, and pay on that mortgage, get that mortgage paid off in 2, 3, 4 years. Get that car note paid off in 2 years. So now you got that car note money. Now you got that mortgage money, $400, $500, $600, $700. Mm-hmm. And when you show a person how to do that, that's how you generate wealth. That's how you create wealth for yourself. Because it's a lot easier for me to live on $700, $800 a month of bills than it is for me to be paying $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month. Because now that's why I'm stuck in that job and afraid to leave 9 to 5, because I got to pay these bills.
Yeah. I got bills to pay.
I got bills to pay, right?
I got bills to pay.
But my bill's only $700 a month. Well, okay. Well, I can go sell some books. I can go sell some jewelry. I can go do some keynotes. I can go do some workshops and pay my bills. My bills are all paid up till October. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm going to go to Las Vegas. I'm going to Toronto tomorrow. Take in what you earn, using your wealth to enjoy life. That's what I try to teach people. Mm-hmm. Think and grow wealth. Showing you how to think, use that money, pay off those bills, get rid of. You don't need a credit card. What do you need a credit card for? Mm-hmm. People say, well, what if I want to get something big? If I showed you how to save $12,000, how big do you need? Mm-hmm. You've got that money in your bank, on your bank card, okay, which has the Visa logo. So I showed you how to save $12,000. So now what do you need that you need a credit card for? Because if you go buy something, if it's more than $12,000, that means you don't need it in the first place. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Fair. So you're going to buy something using your bank card. You know how much you got in the bank. So you're going to say, now, do I really need this, or is this something just I want? Right. Okay. A lot of times we just want stuff. After a while, you start to stop wanting stuff and start getting things only that you need. And you'll find that you start to need less and less. You don't need to shop every year for knew everything. You know, people wanted to get the latest this and the latest that.
But I got to have the brand new.
Right.
Yeah, I got to have the brand new.
But the brand new is old the next year.
Right.
Because then you got to get the new brand new.
You got to say it. Yeah.
But if you get something, I tell people I create my own style. So I wear what I want to wear.
Yep.
I look decent.
Yep.
And some of the clothes I have, man, I've had for 5-6 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Suits I've had for like 5-6 years. And I put it on. That's like, they don't know it's 5-6 years old.
Mm-hmm. They just don't look good.
Exactly. As long as it look good. You can buy a couple of ties and throw it off, or a vest, or, you know, different little accessories, and it all looks good. Different shirt periodically. Mm-hmm. But when you show people how to do things like that, man, show kids how to do it, that's the kind of stuff I show the kids.
Yeah.
You know, and I show them how to go online to different websites and order stuff like discount jewelry and clothing and stuff like that. So now you're showing them how to get clothes cheap, how to get jewelry cheap. So now you got your little jewelry, you have some little bling.
Right.
So I'll show you how to get your little bling.
Yeah.
So you got your little bling, you got your little outfits, and you walk into school and you're chilling. Mm-hmm. You know?
But and I think like we get, like younger black kids in general, we get stuck in that mindset. We're taught this mindset from the music we listen to, the TV we watch, the people, to idolize material things.
Exactly.
So if you don't got the latest pair of sneakers, if you don't got the the brand new Gucci shirt, or name brand this, name brand that, you know what I'm saying, then you ain't shit.
Exactly.
And it's as fucked up as it sounds, that's the mentality that we're going in with. It took me a while to break out of that. Like I was never really a big component on like having the latest Jordans or Nikes. One, because I got big ass feet. I wear a size 14.
Jesus.
So I had to basically get what I can fit. You know what I'm saying? And then also I was always a bigger guy myself as well.
Right.
So I couldn't wear a lot of the same clothes that a lot of my peers was wearing in high school, and until I lost my weight and eventually I was able to dress. But at that point in time, I kind of broke that mentality where I don't need like $100 pair of jeans. Like I can go
for what?
You know what I'm saying? I don't need a $80 shirt to look good. You
Exactly.
know, like you said.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I could throw together an outfit that costs literally $20 and go out to the club and look just as good as the next dude that spent $500 on his outfit, or something like that.
I'm gonna show you a comparison. What's the guy's name? Name one of those rappers. That wear all the wears the Gucci. What's his name? God, I can't think of it. Name any of them. But I'm just thinking about any of those rappers you see with all that stuff on.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to name somebody for you. Bill Gates.
Mm-hmm.
Warren Buffett. Funkenberg? What's his name for?
Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg, okay.
Yeah.
Look at what they wear. You talking about billionaires.
Mm-hmm. Wearing Walmart brand clothes.
Look at what they wear.
Mm-hmm.
But you got sort of millionaires, kind of like a millionaire, but all their money is being spent on 4 and 5 and 6 cars and Gucci shirts and gold chains and $2,000 sunglasses.
Yeah.
All this nonsense. And then haven't paid any taxes. And finding out that if you go out online and you Google broke celebrities, you'll be surprised at some of the names that will pop up online.
Yeah.
I do it all the time because I show I print them out and I take them to my kids and I show them, people like Fat Joe. And most of the people who, when I say broke celebrities, they still have a little money, but all of them are in tax problem debt.
Yeah.
IRS is coming after them because they so busy spending on Gucci and all that other stuff that they haven't paid any taxes.
Yeah.
And so you don't hear Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates and Warren Buffett talking about they in tax problem because they ain't paying no taxes, because that's the first thing they pay. Yeah. But they make so much money and they have all these foundations set up and they drive around, like you said, they wear Walmart and
driving Camrys.
Exactly, and regular sneakers and jeans and a polo shirt from Walmart and all that kind of stuff, and enjoying life. Enjoying life. We run around trying to impress the next guy.
Right.
And I tell my kids, I said, instead of buying a pair of Nikes, I'm going to show you how to buy Nike stock.
Yeah.
And then when that stock goes up, you use that money to buy a pair of Nikes.
Right.
And then that way, Nikes have bought you some Nikes.
Yeah.
And so that way, if you have to have those Nikes, then that's the way to get them.
Yeah.
Versus you having to ask your parents for $200-$300 to get a pair of sneakers. And then you'll appreciate them more too.
Right.
Because you worked for them.
Mm-hmm. You earned them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nothing feels better than actually earning it.
teaching these kids how to use wealth, how to generate wealth. I always ask them, I said, how many of you guys want to be rich? Everybody raise their hand.
Yeah, who don't? Who doesn't want to be rich?
I said, how many of you guys want to be wealthy? They kind of look around first, then someone raised their hand. I said, well, I don't want anybody in this room who wants to be rich. I only want wealthy people in here. And then I explained to them what the difference is between being rich and being wealthy. Do you know the difference between being rich and being wealthy?
Chris Rock had a famous quote. He says that, Shaq playing basketball is rich. The guy that's signing Shaq check is wealthy. Wealth is sustainable.
Exactly.
Like you can be rich one moment and then be broke the next.
Exactly.
Like when you're wealthy, you're not going broke for a long time. And it's generational wealth as well.
Exactly. And wealth is when you have more than one source of income coming in. And see, Shaq playing basketball was rich.
Yeah.
Shaq retired from basketball as wealthy.
Is wealthy.
He owns several restaurants. He owns several Starbucks. He owns several doing commercials for General Insurance.
I think he owns the Papa John's brand.
Papa John's. He owns like 10 or 12 of those. He owns quite a few of those. He owns a couple of Starbucks.
Gold Bond he's with.
Yeah. Gold Bond. All those things. So that's what wealth is. When you have income coming from so many resources that you never have to worry about being broke.
Right.
Because you got money coming in. So if you notice when I said to you earlier, I said, I sell books.
Yeah.
I do speeches. I do workshops. I sell men's jewelry. I do, all the things I do. And so all those things at one point or another is going to generate some income.
Right.
Which means it's generating wealth for me.
Right.
So for me to have to try to go out and find a job that's going to be in comparison to that and make me have to be somewhere for 40 hours.
That you don't want to be.
Exactly.
And 9 times out of 10, we all hate our job.
And I tell my students all the time, I said, I have kids that like to talk a lot. I said, you would be a great motivational speaker. What? I'm not. I said, you talk all the time. You stand up and talk all the time. Well, I don't want to do it. I said, you don't want to get paid to talk?
Right.
You don't want to get paid to speak?
But to do what you're doing right now.
Exactly. Doing what you're doing right now. But when you try to put them on the spot to say, hey, you can do this as a career because it's fear of success, fear of the unknown, not knowing that, I got to get up in front of people. And I show them how to do that. But I also share with them people who are motivational speakers.
Yeah.
Like I have a friend of mine, a gentleman by the name of George Fraser, $25,000 for a 90-minute presentation. Wouldn't you like to make $25,000?
Yeah.
To talk to somebody for 90 minutes.
It sounds like easy money.
Thank you. Thank you. Les Brown. You heard of Les Brown?
I believe so.
Les Brown is a motivational speaker too. Les Brown was the person who encouraged me to write my first book. I met Les Brown in Atlanta, and he said to me, so Willie, what do you want to do? I said, well, I want to write some books. He said, what do you want to write about? I said, I want to write some real estate books. I said, but I just can't get started. He said, well, what do you like to write about? I said, well, I like writing about Black history because I write an article for the Buffalo Challenger on Black history every month, just showing young people that Black history is not just in the month of February, but Black history is every day.
And it's not just slavery as well.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so he said, well, why don't you write a book about Black history first, since that's something you like to write about?
Yeah.
Remember I said, take something you like to do and use that to generate wealth.
Right.
He said, take something you like to do, which is Black history, and write about it, write a book. I wrote my book, This Week in Black History. That was my first book. And from there, I ended up writing 9 real estate books. I'm working on a new real estate book now. I'm working on a new personal development workshop book. What is actually my Boys to Men book.
Okay.
I'm working on the Boys to Men book. I'm still working on a title for it. I called it Mother's Love, which is preparing young men for success. A single mother raising young men. But I have no clue what I'm going to name it yet. But I'm working on that book for helping parents and caretakers who are working with young men. So I'm working on that book, and I'm working on the real estate book, Making Your House Your Home. And then I'm working on a new Black history book. Yeah. But using that, what he showed me, and that's why I said, that's how I came up with the concept of showing people what it is you like to do. What is your specialized skill? What can you help solve? And then using that to make money. And I mean, it's so many opportunities out there